The chameleon is a small, cold-blooded animal. His eyes allow him to anticipate bad moves. To go unnoticed, it changes color and blends into the background. I, too, can adapt to the most dangerous situations. And I'll dive in some of the most hostile areas on the planet. I'm Sebastian Perez-Pisani. I'm a chameleon.
It swings a little, huh?
It's time to play the game, even on private service. This used to be a tree-covered area. And then men arrived. Thousands of men. Every time, same scenario. They cut the forest, they dig the earth, borrow its wealth, and then move on to another area, leaving behind a lunar, apocalyptic landscape. All life has disappeared. In Ukraine, several hundred square kilometers of forest disappear every year. The reason for the carnage: a semi-precious stone much loved by the Chinese and Russians, ambers. Here, for the past 20 years, police and traffickers have waged a never-ending war. I've got a week to figure out what's at stake in this increasingly violent conflict, and meet those who clash. I'm going to join the special forces who are relentlessly tracking down the traffickers. I'll share the daily life of miners illegally searching for amber. I found amber. I'll sympathize with the traffic leader under house arrest.
What do you want, your case in the shade or your pure case?
I'm going to find out that criminals aren't who you think they are.
Cops harass miners when they refuse to pay bribes.
Welcome to Ukraine. Welcome to the Amber Wars. I land in Klisev. In northwestern Ukraine, a few kilometers from the border with Belarus. Klisev only has 5,000 inhabitants. Here, time has stopped at the Soviet period. If all our products are organic, it's because there has never been any intensive production. The only factory that could provide employment for the population closed at the end of the last century. So to get by, those who had nothing to survive turned to the illegal amber trade. And that's a lot of people. Amber? You can tell right away, those who work in amber. Him? Yes. Stone house. Him? No. Wooden house. Like the three little pigs. He works in amber. Simply put, in the Klisev region, amber is everywhere. And it's found in forests. Amber is conifer sap fossilized over 40 million years ago. This semi-precious stone fetches up to $5,000 a kilo, equivalent to 2 years' salary in the Ukraine. Mining is prohibited outside state-owned mines. Yet it is estimated that 90% of Ukrainian amber is extracted illegally. a market worth tens of millions of euros a year. In 5 years, the government attempted disaster control. But the mafia groups that have taken over the stone export business are untouchable. The farmers who, 20 years ago, searched for amber on their own account, are now employees of criminal organizations. And they are on the front line against police assaults. Increasingly, there are violent clashes. In 2015, a heavy-handed intervention by the authorities left a dozen people dead and several injured. Since then, no negotiation seems likely to bring peace, and in this war, journalists are not welcome.
Hide your fucking camera. Go away.
I have an appointment at a service station with the police. We wait. This is Vadim, my fixer. After months of negotiations, he obtained authorization for me to embark on a reconnaissance mission. In terms of punctuality, the Ukrainian police are even worse than I am. And equipment-wise, well, it's not bad at all. This special unit's van dates back to the 1960s.
Okay.
Here it's called the pill. In Soviet times, this puncture-proof 4x4 that never got bogged down served as an ambulance. It's the ideal machine for tracking down criminals in the forest. We're with Ukrainian special forces that have been sent to the region. They do 1-month rotations and stay here. So their mission is to stop illegal amber prospectors. After an hour's drive, into the woods. The objective, Tamishgarad, a village 15 kilometers from here, lost in the middle of the forest.
No need to cut it.
In this village, most of the inhabitants extract amber illegally. New houses are springing up like mushrooms, a sure sign. To put an end to the amber trade, the police have set up checkpoints all around the village and imposed a mini blockade on the inhabitants. How are you?
Добрий день. Добрий день. Це наш блокпост.
The checkpoint?
Блокпост. Це блокпост.
Yes, this is it.
На даний час
We currently have 5 of these.
які здійснюють тут охорону
This is
громадського
the most
порядку.
important one, number one.
Далі приїжджаємо в ліс, там будуть остальні. Ви можете
The
поснімати
purpose of
зараз,
these checkpoints is to
подивитися,
prevent
яка
locals from entering the area
Ці пости створені для того, щоб місцеве населення не змогло
for amber mining
виїжджати
and
на
criminal
території, туди,
activities.
могли б творити бурштини і здійснювати цю незаконну діяльність.
In concrete terms, is it to prevent them from passing by with pumps?
Ми заїжджали мотопомпи.
Yes, it's usually to keep them out.
Here the amber is so deep that you need a pump. Тобто те,
They
що
don't
вони
wait.
заходять, це не страшно.
It's vital to
Саме
prevent the
головне, щоб
pumps from getting
моторами не
through.
заїжджали.
In this outpost, police and military officers take turns every 3 days. They're there 24/7. The police seek the villagers. And villagers watch for the police.
Вон,
There are men watching us
стоять
over there.
хлопці, дивляться.
They're watching. What's the hardest part when looking for amber seekers?
Знайти де
The hardest thing here is to get through to these people.
спільну мову. Свої поняття,
They have a very particular mentality.
такі доволі в них специфічні. Тобто знайти з ними
We often
спільну
find it
мову.
hard to agree.
Ми люди воєнні. Нас приказ.
We're soldiers, and when we get an order, we have to carry it out.
Приїжджаєш сюди, вони
We come here to do our
нас
job,
особистих
but they
врагов
see us as the
розцінюють.
enemy.
Тобто, як ми приїхали їх щось таке забирати.
They don't find this
туди-сюди.
illegal.
Таке, через це важко спільну мову знайти.
The authorities have managed to pacify a dozen villages like this one by force. A tiny part of the region. The next day, an entirely different expedition awaits me. An operation prepared in the greatest secrecy. There are more of them there. They're more armed. This intervention brigade specializing in amber trafficking was created in March 2017. The police are working with an undercover trafficker. Several months of investigation and work by special services now rest on his appeal.
Do the locals give you the information?
And this is what we're waiting for.
Yes, orders from the boss.
The news has just broken, and it's a big one. 3 pumps and around 30 miners started work. These are the men the police targeted during their investigation. Problem: we have to travel over 100 kilometers. A distance too long to go unnoticed.
That was one of their gators. There was also one in the village of Avon, in Orlovsko.
Speed up, we've already been spotted.
You're still a long way off.
After an hour's drive, we enter enemy territory. Traffickers are also well versed in this strategic warfare. They know where to place their soldiers.
This is one of their cars.
Go right. This is the Ukrainian jungle.
The deeper you go into the forest, the more inaccessible it becomes. Miners can dismantle a pump in less than 20 minutes.
All of those cars are...
These are miners' cars.
It must pass.
Speed up.
We can't move. We're stuck in the mud. Now back to 4x4. Go for it. Fuck, come on. Wait.
We've been stuck for 5 minutes now. These muddy areas have been deliberately created by traffickers. There are still plenty of traps. I don't know if it'll work. The police lost precious time. Our car blocks the whole convoy. We have to walk now. I find myself with three special police officers. They go on foot as the car is blocked. But now there are only 3. We don't know if the guys on the other side are violent or not. After 10 minutes of walking, the pace quickens. There are 3 of us, and according to the latest news, there will be about 30. In those moments, I really wonder what I'm after. When we arrive, the miners have disappeared. They had time to dismantle 2 pumps. They left the 3rd.
Wait. It's still warm.
Yes, it's hot.
They've managed to leave with the other pumps. Turn here. Go ahead, pull. Go.
The police want to avoid any confrontation. Get the pump back to the cars as quickly as possible and tow it through the forest. And above all, don't give the miners time to gather their village together, otherwise things could get out of hand. But the ordeal continues. You have to give up a car. The return journey is made at 2 an hour, and the atmosphere is rather tense. Now the police are suspicious of the locals because they can attack the police convoy to recover the palm. To the warehouse, where all the seized pumps are stored. The authorities seize more than a dozen a month. Oh yeah, there's all that, you know. All that. Yeah? Okay. Efficient work.
All the pumps we confiscated were being used to extract amber illegally. Otherwise, we can't take them.
We really started to be effective when we created these special brigades in March 2017.
There are 100 of them, or how many?
Difficult to give you the exact figure, but from memory, I think it's 174 pumps stored here. But these are just the pumps for the Sarny region.
Police raids are becoming increasingly frequent, and this is beginning to exasperate the local population. Nobody here understands the government's relentlessness. To express their frustration and demand that extraction be legalized. 100 activists gathered on the side of the main road. To make themselves heard, they decided to block the road in their own way. So the principle isn't bad, it's actually quite clever. The principle is walk on the crosswalk and back again. But then they're not outlaws, they're not blocking the freeway illegally. So they wait their turn, they hang out on the crosswalk and nobody passes.
According to Article 39 of the Ukrainian Constitution, you have the right to protest peacefully, but you have to apply for it first. I advise you to clear the road voluntarily. If you decide to continue your action, you'll be breaking the law. And we consider this a criminal offense.
This conflict is also a war of images. Each side captures the faces of its opponent. I think he filmed me. We filmed ourselves with the policeman. After an hour, the activists broke camp. At the end of the demonstration, I had time to make a few contacts. Tonight, they're celebrating the birthday of one of their own, and they invited me. To avoid being traced by the police, they asked me to remove the chip from my cell phone.
Hey there. Hello again.
What is it?
It's St. John liquor. It's French.
Apricot.
That's strong.
I speak Spanish.
You speak Spanish? It's your birthday? Happy birthday.
Thank you, sir.
It's the MP. You're an MP, but you support workers looking for amber?
Yes, I've been fighting to legalize amber mining for 4 years now. Because this activity, as long as it is illegal, is not lucrative enough. We try, but there's nothing we can do. All the people you see there, they're willing to pay taxes on the amber they take.
How do you say chin-chin?
Na zdrowie. Na zdrowie.
Meet Vladimir, a local politician who is also fighting to legalize amber extraction. And he doesn't just suck ice cubes. These men are the government's pet peeves. They are under constant surveillance by Ukrainian police forces. They cook the meat in beer. It's onion.
Forza.
Here.
Yeah. Na zdrowie.
I knew it, we're getting wasted.
A little.
Oh, hot. Very good. Spicy. It stings. I'm fighting mosquitoes. I don't even know why I fight mosquitoes.
It's useless. There are millions of them. And you're all alone. A million will sting you. Mosquitoes will fuck you up. They'll fuck you up.
Come on, let's drink.
Ivan, come here and serve the vodka.
I'm eating.
We have 3 liters here.
One cube of vodka. I'm lost here. My translator's gone.
Come here, my friend.
Mosquitoes everywhere. It's a sick thing.
Some soup? Would you like some fish soup?
It's okay.
Some vodka?
They sting my eyelids. It's insane.
If you don't drink, the flies will eat you. They'll eat you for sure.
Happy birthday to you.
I hope you get to Parliament.
Thank you. Whatever you want.
Aw, damn. I was too slow.
Vova, how's your head?
For Vladimir, the party's over. I hope tomorrow he won't forget me, because he was able to introduce me to a team of flight seekers. Feeling better?
How's your health?
Can't complain.
Yesterday he fell and went like this.
When you fell, you nearly smashed your head on the bench.
We'll stop by for a couple of beers.
Beers aren't for Vladimir. He's had enough. That's because in the forest, we can't arrive empty-handed. Barely out of the village of Klesiv, we're already entering the extraction site. This is Oleg. He has 8 men and 2 women under his command. He's been trafficking ambers for 10 years. And he's no picnic. He's got his eye on everything. Nothing escapes him.
If you don't keep pace, I'll beat you. Fuck your mothers. Shut up or I'll rip your dicks off. Got it?
My presence makes the men nervous. Even with a balaclava, they're afraid of being recognized.
Not that close.
They risk prison.
Why the fuck are you filming my face? Don't get that close.
Normally, when you do this, you put someone on guard. There's someone watching if police arrives.
Yes, we have a lookout who warns us if the police arrive. We choke the pump motor, gather our stuff, and get out of here. In general, when they arrive, we run straight to the pump. We try to save it first. Perhaps we'll show it to you later.
To extract amber, water is injected into the ground at very high pressure. You insert the pipe and gradually enlarge the hole.
Water pressure clouds the earth. It releases the amber clinging to the rock. See? The earth stays at the bottom. But as amber is lighter, it will rise to the surface.
The amber is several meters deep. To reach it, the miners use iron bars that they gradually lengthen. Then all you have to do is wait for the fossilized sap to rise to the surface, to be retrieved with landing nets. It's like fishing.
Yes, it's the same.
After 10 minutes, the first resin nuggets appear. One man makes sure no one sneaks a nugget into his pocket. As Lenin said, trust does not exclude control. Are they changing? Changing holes? In a single day, the miners will make around 50 holes.
Mind the holes.
It's almost 35 degrees in the shade, and we're in the middle of a heat wave. I don't know how they manage in this heat with their balaclavas on. Not to mention the bugs. Sometimes they're like that. After the mosquitoes, that's it. After 2 hours with them, the team adopted me.
Come on, it's your turn. Come closer.
Shall I put it in? Wait, I'm really next to the hole here. Wait. Wait.
Wait. Don't go any further.
The hole is 18 meters deep. Several miners have already lost their lives this way.
Raise it.
Again?
Lift it up and bring it closer. Come here. Come on, continue. Wait, I'll help you. Pull it to the right.
I take it out.
Wait.
Oh shit. Oh shit. Wait, yo, am I the only one working here? Shall I put it back? Hey, bring me up.
You're the one who's going to pay.
I've done the hard part. Now, we must be patient.
Ah, yes. This?
No.
No?
It's wood.
C'est du bois.
Watch this. I found amber.
Up.
In 4 hours, they will collect 2 kilos of amber, the equivalent of $1,500. They'll divide it this evening. Will you sell me a stone? Ask him.
He wants to buy a stone.
Okay, this one? How much?
Give me $100 and I'll give you the little stones.
100 euros. Better than dollars.
Here, take this.
Okay, thanks. Take it.
Let go of the bill. Let go.
Okay. Wait, but give me. Wait. Gimme. Okay, all right. Wait. Hey, a bag. Is it illegal what I just did, buying amber?
It is illegal. But for you, it's just a memory. You didn't buy much.
Now Oleg trusts me. He wants to show me his pump. It is hidden 1 kilometer away. Finding it is easy. We just go up the pipe. This homemade pump runs on a Mercedes engine. It costs $2,500, a year's minimum wage, a fortune in Ukraine. Oleg and his men have had several pumps like this one seized by the police.
But that was before.
We used to be afraid of the cops, so we'd scatter, but now we're not. Fuck the cops. Now when they show up, we all get together. We stand up to them. The shadow is ours. We worked hard for it. This amber is ours. The cops confiscate our equipment. They sell it a little further away, and your pump continues to pump, but at someone else's house. This fucking police force is a fucking joke. They sell everything, the pipes. If they confiscate this car, they'll sell it for parts. Fuck the cops. We do what we want. These cops get on my nerves.
Thank you. I thought it was a classic war between cops and dealers. But I see now is that the reality is quite different. In fact, this amber war pits those who want to legalize amber extraction against those who are happy to traffic it, the police. And in Ukraine, if you dare to confront the police, you risk reprisals. I have an appointment with one of the leaders of the revolt, a local baron. Sergei has been stuck at home for 2 months. He is under 24-hour police surveillance. You're under house arrest. In other words, you're obliged to stay at home. Why?
Because I refuse to pay the police a pittance to mine amber. If you find $150 worth of amber, you pay a $100 bribe. $50 for fees, nothing left for you. Here, the smallest cop has all the rights. He can confiscate your passport, expropriate property, and seize your cars. They've fabricated a criminal case against me. I told them, show me proof of what you're saying. They said, we don't need it. I filed a complaint for corruption, and they put me under house arrest. Nothing I can do.
Have you ever been in direct confrontation with the police?
I'd even say physical. Yeah.
What happened?
Once the cops came to arrest those who refused to give them baseball bats. Local people revolted. There were violent clashes. They accused me of throwing stones, but not a single person was hurt. We were all hooded. How can they tell it's me?
I was told that the police had come to put pressure on you even at home.
Police officers came here with their weapons to kill me. They said, "You're going to suck our dicks and then we're going to fuck you in front of your wife and kids." We managed to throw them out and called the police. They said they'd come back for revenge. 2 months after, my house is burnt down. The surveillance camera caught it all.
In the middle of the night, in the rain, 2 men approached the house with Molotov cocktails. Despite these images, the police have opened no investigation.
Here it's the cops who make the rules. For amber mining, if you don't have any cops in your family or a close friend in the police force, you can't work. Ukraine is the third most corrupt country in the world, just behind Somalia and Madagascar. And we're not better.
And Venezuela.
Yes, Venezuela too.
Sergei put his mining boots back on. To kill time, all he has left is his swimming pool. It's a pool like any other. There are fish and crayfish. Oh damn, it is cold. They bring back food. I broke the board. So now we're going to drink vodka with amber in it. It tastes good and works as a medicine.
You prefer amber vodka or stinky vodka? First, take the cabbage. Then you eat a pickle. Cheers.
Будьмо. Нормально? Perfecto. Vodka, да?
This vodka is good, isn't it? Ukrainians deal in good vodka, right?
It's too strong for me. Since my arrival, a question has been burning in my mind. Sergei, what do I risk if I go into the forest and meet the people who work at night?
They'll break your camera. You're going to get beaten up.
How's that?
They'll ask you what you're doing here, but you won't even have time to answer. The bandits and cops will catch you.
Okay.
When night falls, Klesiv changes its face. The villagers shut themselves away at home. The mafia's little hands start their day. They worked all night in the forest. They've all greased the police's palms. I asked Dmitry, a local journalist, to accompany me. He knows the area well. What we're going to do now, then, is switch to a night shot, because otherwise we'll be spotted. So we're going to turn off as many lights as we can.
Okay. The difference between day work and night work is, at night, fewer people can see you. That's the logic of these people. In general, night owls pay for their safety. They pay cops.
It's midnight. It's rush hour.
These are all people who go to work.
At night in the Klesiv forest, there's no such thing as silence. Dmitry never leaves his car empty-handed. Magazine loaded and security removed.
There are two sounds, one quite loud over there and one not so loud over there.
Okay, wait. Yes, I hear them. What are those lights there?
Those lights are those of a police station.
Okay.
There are 2 or 3 miners. You can see their cars parked.
Place where the car stands and several people sleeps.
There's water here. Do you think that's why the police have set up their post there?
You think?
There's water here, but it's mostly pumps that belong to the state. That police rents to hustlers.
We've been trying to spot a group of smugglers for the past 20 minutes. But in fact, they're the ones who spotted us. There's a car. Okay, let the car go.
Are they leaving or stopping?
Let them go. They're stopping. It stops. Understood. No need to go any further. Too risky. Sergei was right. It's my last day, and this morning I received a message I wasn't expecting. A Special Forces policeman I'd bumped into during my stay arranged to meet me on the outskirts of town. He has to pick me up by car at the level crossing. My informant is a cop. He demanded that his anonymity be preserved. I'll call him Max. He's been in Special Forces for a decade.
We'll hide in the middle of the forest. It's too dangerous if they see my car.
But Pop Miner told me, and Max is about to confirm, that the police are at the heart of the operation. By talking to me, he's taking a huge risk. Max, how does the system work with the police and those looking for the amber?
The system is simple. There are deposits. If you want to exploit them, you pay the police. It's called working with a ticket. In Klesiv, a ticket for 8 hours work costs $250 per pump. Besides, the amber is split 50-50 between the miners and the police. Brigade leaders pay the high-ranking police officers. Then they can mine the amber in peace. The police won't touch them. In Klesiv, police chiefs and gangs share over $30,000 a day.
Do the base rank officers receive orders from their superiors to put pressure on those who don't pay?
Those who don't pay are called the no TKs, hunted and ambushed. We organize raids, harass them, confiscate their pumps and all their equipment.
Is that a tractor?
Tractor. Okay.
Max, I've seen a lot of reports about journalists running away from the police, and it's always the same. I have the impression that the police, they're taking journalists for a ride.
The police are here to put on a show, to show they do something. They take journalists for a ride and never show them the real story. When you first went up with them, they planned to show you nothing. The police never take journalists where the miners pay them. It's to keep the secret and not break the system.
Do you think there are many ex-police officers dealing in amber today?
Yes, there are a lot of them. I have a lot of police friends who have become miners. Some have even bought their pumps. In fact, I'm thinking of leaving the police force too, to become an amber prospector.
Okay.
Cops who recycle themselves into trafficking. Villagers who have no other choice. And a forest that's melting away.
Okay. Go.
Since my departure, Vladimir continues his fight to legalize amber extraction. Sergei is still under house arrest, but perhaps not for much longer. Cops try to expropriate him. The police are still confiscating pumps, while pocketing bribes. In Ukraine, ecology remains a Western luxury.